For centuries, the story of human evolution has followed one path, but what if some chapters were hidden on purpose? Ancient records, long forgotten, hint at humans who existed before Adam. Edgar Cayce, in his trance readings, spoke of these mysterious races, their lives, and their powers. Some details sound impossible, yet the evidence is strange and compelling. Today, we will reveal 3 pre-Adamic human races that history tried to erase. What they knew and how they lived may change everything you thought about humanity. Stay with us, watch carefully, and see the truth. For thousands of years, human history has been written in a way that seems complete. But what if large parts of it were missing? Some researchers call it the Great Planetary Amnesia. Evidence appears everywhere, yet no one explains it. Strange megalithic structures rise around the world, built with precision that seems impossible for the people of their time. Sudden leaps in human knowledge and abilities appear in the genetic record. Across continents, myths speak of beings who came from the sky, teaching humans arts, knowledge, and even laws. These stories are too similar across cultures to be coincidence. Many wonder why human history seems to skip certain parts. The reset theory offers one explanation. According to this idea, there were series of global cataclysms that wiped out civilizations. Survivors were forced into primitive states, losing most of their knowledge. Only fragments of memory survived, hidden inside myths, legends, and mysterious symbols. The sudden jumps in science, architecture, and culture seen in different times could be the return of knowledge once lost. Some ancient texts hint that human memory can be erased and restored in cycles. Edgar Cayce, the famous psychic, spoke about this in his readings. He described races of humans that lived long before the story of Adam. According to him, the history we know is only the history of the 5th human race. The first 4 races lived in completely different ways, often with abilities that seem impossible today. They were not primitive in the way we imagine. Some of them had forms of intelligence and energy control that allowed them to manipulate nature itself. Cayce called the first 3 races original star seeds, suggesting they had origins beyond Earth or a different plane of existence. The first race, Cayce said, existed in a time before our sun and moon formed as we know them. These beings were ethereal, almost light-like. They were not bound to physical matter in the same way humans are today. Over time, they developed more form and substance, evolving through stages that are difficult for modern science to understand. Their knowledge of energy, vibration, and consciousness was advanced, but as global cataclysms struck, much of it was lost. The second race appeared as more physical beings. They had bodies, but still retained abilities that modern humans do not have. They were taller, stronger, and lived much longer than humans today. Communication was not always through speech. It involved energy and thought. The records suggest that some could influence matter with intention, a skill that sounds like magic to us. These beings also faced disasters that destroyed much of their civilizations, leaving only small groups to carry their knowledge forward. The third race was closer to the humans we recognize today, but still very different. They were called Starseeds because their origins were linked to the heavens. They built advanced cities and structures, some of which remain as unexplained megaliths today. Their cultures valued knowledge, harmony, and the connection between humans and the stars. Cataclysms struck again, reducing their numbers and scattering survivors across the planet. Cayce suggested that the survivors of the third race were gradually blended into the fourth race, the Atlanteans, who inherited fragments of the ancient knowledge. By the time Adam appears in the texts, humanity had entered the 5th race. This is considered the beginning of the current cycle, where memory of the earlier races was mostly forgotten. The story of Adam is not the first human story, but the first story of this current cycle. Myths from around the world contain echoes of the earlier races, describing beings who were taller, wiser, and sometimes luminous. These myths survived because the cataclysms could not erase all memory. Certain skills, symbols, and stories persisted and were passed down from generation to generation. Many modern scientists struggle to explain sudden changes in human evolution, the appearance of advanced structures, or mysterious knowledge in ancient times. These anomalies might make sense if the reset theory and Cayce's pre-Adamic races are considered. Perhaps history is not linear, but cyclical. Knowledge rises, civilizations fall, and memory is partly lost, only to be rediscovered in new forms. The hidden chapters of humanity suggest that we are not the first intelligent beings on this planet, and the story of our origins is more complex than textbooks reveal. Even the myths of gods from the sky may have roots in real encounters with these earlier human races. Across the world, people described beings descending from the heavens, bringing knowledge and shaping human society. These myths might not be imagination but echoes of events that occurred before Adam's story. Some suggest that advanced knowledge, once lost in disasters, was gradually reintroduced through survivors who remembered fragments of the past. If these ideas are true, human history is not just a story of survival and evolution. It is a story of cycles, of forgotten knowledge, and of races that came before us. The first three races, the Starseeds, were pioneers whose lives and wisdom were largely erased. The fourth race carried the memory forward, blending with new humans before the fifth race, Adam's cycle, began. Every myth, structure, and sudden leap in human ability may hold clues to these forgotten chapters. Some ideas about human existence go beyond the history books. One of the most striking is that Earth itself may not just be a planet, but a laboratory. In this view, Earth is a testing ground where souls come to master the physical world. Every challenge, every human struggle, may serve a purpose in training consciousness. Life is not random, but a system designed to teach lessons and refine energy. Every being, every civilization, may have been part of a larger plan that stretches far beyond what we can see. This leads to a strange and unsettling question. Why do human souls feel limited? According to certain theories, souls originally existed as pure energy or thought. They were free, boundless, and not restricted by physical form. Over time, however, many souls became trapped in material planes. The human body acts as a biosuit, a vessel that allows the energy of the soul to operate in a physical dimension. This containment is necessary for growth, yet it also creates limitations. Emotions, desires, and mortality may all be part of the system that teaches the soul through experience. The design of humanity may have gone through multiple iterations. The concept of evolutionary models suggests that there were several races of humans, each created to test different possibilities. The first three races were the most unusual. They were alien in form and powerful beyond imagination. Some could manipulate energy, communicate without words, and even alter matter. Their abilities, however, made them unstable. Civilizations of these early humans often collapsed, either through misuse of power or the inability to survive catastrophic events. The first race was said to exist in a time when the physical world was very different. These beings were not bound by solid matter in the same way humans are today. They could move through dimensions, interact with energy directly, and exist in multiple states at once. Over time, as material reality solidified, many of these first beings could not adapt. They became trapped in denser forms of existence, which limited their original abilities. The second race was closer to physical form but still very advanced. Tall, long-lived, and highly intelligent, they retained much of the original energy-based abilities. They could communicate telepathically, heal with touch, and sense events across distances. Yet even with these powers, they were vulnerable to disasters. Cataclysms and environmental changes destroyed many of their civilizations, leaving survivors to carry fragments of knowledge to later races. The third race is described as both powerful and dangerous. They combined physical form with advanced energy control, but their instability often led to collapse. They were highly creative and built structures and tools far beyond what most humans could understand today. Some myths suggest they could move massive stones or manipulate natural forces. Their energy was strong but unpredictable. When major disruptions occurred, the survivors of the third race blended with the fourth race, transferring fragments of memory, knowledge, and abilities. By the time the fourth and fifth races appeared, the lessons of the earlier iterations had shaped the human design. The fifth race, which includes modern humans, carries only traces of the original abilities. Memory of the first three races was mostly lost, preserved only in myths, symbols, and unexplained achievements. The human form, though limited compared with the first races, is stable and capable of learning through repeated experience. The trials of this current cycle are designed to allow the soul to master physical life without collapsing under the strain of extreme power. Across history, unusual events may reflect the influence of these earlier races. Sudden jumps in human abilities, mysterious structures, and myths of beings from the sky could all be echoes of previous iterations. The first three races were not just prototypes but highly advanced experiments, testing the limits of life, energy, and consciousness. Their collapse may have been necessary to allow stable human evolution, ensuring that the current cycle of life could continue. The soul's entrapment in material form also explains many human struggles. Emotions, desires, and conflicts may not simply be random. They act as training tools, helping the energy within the human body to grow, learn, and eventually regain understanding. The human form is limited, but within that limitation, there is opportunity. The challenges, dangers, and mysteries of life are all part of a system designed to refine the energy of the soul and prepare it for stages beyond the material world. If Earth is a laboratory, then human history is a record of experiments. The first three races tested extreme possibilities, often failing due to instability. The fourth and fifth races stabilized the process, allowing knowledge to be preserved and refined. Every myth, every unexplained phenomenon may be a trace of these experiments. Life itself could be seen as a school, a set of challenges, and a system that shapes energy into forms capable of higher understanding. The more we examine ancient stories, structures, and anomalies, the more it appears that humanity is part of a much larger design, one that stretches beyond the visible world and the time we know. Long before humans as we know them existed, Earth was home to beings far different from anything today. The first of these were called the Polarians. They were ethereal, almost like clouds of thought rather than solid bodies. They could change shape at will and exist in multiple forms at the same time. During Earth's early cooling period, they moved freely across the planet, not bound by gravity or matter. Their consciousness was pure energy, and they were connected directly to the life force of the planet. Everything they experienced was projection, thought made visible. But the Polarians became fascinated with the material world. Their curiosity drew them closer to physical reality, and slowly their forms began to densify. Over time, they lost the ability to shift freely, becoming trapped in one solid form. What started as a free, shape-shifting existence gradually became restricted. The very thing that allowed them to interact so fully with energy now bound them to the Earth plane. Their fall was not sudden, but a gradual surrender to the limits of matter, setting the stage for the next experiment in human-like forms. The second race was the Hyperboreans, beings of golden white light. They were more defined than the Polarians, having a distinct form that could move and interact with the planet. They lived in the far northern continent, a land now lost to time, and reproduced in a way that mirrored their energetic nature, projecting portions of themselves to create new life. They were healers and keepers of vibration, holding frequencies that maintained balance in the environment. Their presence brought harmony, and they influenced early life forms with subtle energy. Yet the Hyperboreans' pride became their downfall. They began to see themselves as gods, experimenting with life in ways that disrupted natural balance. This manipulation created the first karmic imbalances, introducing suffering and limitation into creation. Their light bodies, once radiant, slowly dimmed and densified. What was once pure energy became heavier and more material. The Hyperboreans lost many of their original abilities and became more bound to the physical plane, a warning that great power without humility can bring consequences. The third race, the Lemurians, were the first truly physical beings. Unlike the previous two races, they had a solid, tangible form, yet they were enormous in stature and androgynous in appearance. They possessed incredible abilities, including a powerful third eye that allowed telepathy and perception beyond ordinary senses. They could control elements through thought, commanding wind, water, and fire with their consciousness. Their civilization was built on the continent of Mu in the Pacific, a land of advanced technology and spiritual knowledge. The Lemurians were both physical and spiritual, bridging the gap between energy and matter. Their fall came through the rise of desire and separation. The Lemurians split into male and female forms, introducing duality where once there had been unity. Their third eye began to atrophy, reducing their ability to perceive energy directly. Connection to nature weakened, and the harmony they maintained with the planet began to crumble. The continent of Mu sank beneath the waves, a physical reflection of their spiritual decline. Their civilization, once vibrant and powerful, was lost, leaving only traces of memory in myths, stones, and symbols scattered across the world. These three races show a pattern of experimentation, learning, and failure. The Polarians started as pure thought, the Hyperboreans as light beings, and the Lemurians as the first physical humans. Each race possessed incredible abilities, yet each fell due to attraction to the material, pride, or desire. Their stories may explain the gaps in human history, sudden leaps in knowledge, and myths of giants, gods, and beings of light. The first three races were prototypes, testing the possibilities of life, energy, and consciousness in ways modern humans can barely comprehend. Even today, remnants of their influence remain. Stories of beings from the sky, advanced ancient civilizations, and mystical abilities hint at what was once possible. The Polarians, Hyperboreans, and Lemurians were not failures in a simple sense. Their experiences show the challenges of existing fully in physical reality while maintaining awareness of higher consciousness. The cycle of rise and fall repeats in new forms, and the lessons of these early races still echo in human development. The pattern is clear: beings that start in energy or light, when drawn too strongly into matter, lose abilities and become bound by the limits of the physical world. Each race added knowledge and structure to the next, passing forward fragments of memory, skill, and awareness. Humanity, in its current form, carries pieces of these first three races, although most of it is hidden or unconscious. The myths, structures, and legends of ancient civilizations may be reminders of a time when beings of incredible power and consciousness walked the earth, shaping the planet and leaving traces for future generations to find. If advanced races lived before us, one question becomes unavoidable. Why does no one remember them? The answer may lie in what some call the cosmic reboot necessity. According to this idea, earlier experiments in consciousness created serious karmic distortions. Power was gained faster than wisdom. Energy systems were misused. Planetary balance was damaged. To prevent total collapse, a full reset became necessary. Earth's energy grid had to be cleared, stabilized, and prepared for another attempt at conscious life. This reset did not erase everything at once. Instead, it unfolded in stages. The fourth race, often linked to the Atlanteans, was a controlled restart. They inherited fragments of ancient knowledge but were still influenced by past errors. When they fell, a stronger measure was required. The fifth race, modern humanity, became the inheritor of all previous experiments, but without direct memory. Knowledge was sealed, not destroyed. Memory was suppressed to allow stability. There were two critical reasons for this planetary amnesia. The first was the need for a clean slate. Earlier races carried heavy ancestral influence. Their failures shaped their thinking and behavior. If the current race had inherited those memories fully, free will would be compromised. Humans would repeat old patterns without realizing it. By removing conscious memory, the new race could grow without being controlled by the shadows of the past. Choice could exist without pressure from ancient identity. The second reason was karmic resonance protection. Ancient powers were not just ideas. They were abilities tied to consciousness, energy, and matter. Without spiritual maturity, these powers could easily be abused. Earlier races proved this repeatedly. Memory loss acted as a safeguard. It prevented access to dangerous knowledge until consciousness reached a stable level. Power without balance had already caused planetary collapse before. This time, restraint was built into the system. This does not mean the past was completely erased. Instead, it was locked behind layers of symbolism, myth, and intuition. Stories of gods, giants, and lost lands are fragments that survived the reset. They exist without instruction, without activation. This ensures curiosity without immediate danger. Only when awareness matures do these fragments begin to reconnect. Modern society may now be approaching a familiar edge. Many current technologies resemble paths that earlier races followed. Artificial intelligence mirrors the creation of thought forms, intelligence without soul. Virtual reality reflects the attempt to exist as beings of light, detached from physical consequence. Genetic engineering echoes earlier manipulation of physical form, changing life without full understanding of balance. These are not new experiments. They are repeats. The danger lies not in the tools themselves, but in intent. Previous races collapsed when creation moved faster than responsibility. Today, speed again exceeds wisdom. Systems grow faster than ethics. Control expands faster than compassion. These patterns match the warning signs recorded in ancient memory fragments. Humanity stands at a familiar crossroads, even without knowing it. This is where the idea of planetary quarantine appears. Amnesia was not punishment. It was a safety protocol. Earth became isolated from full cosmic interaction while humanity learned stability. Consciousness needed time to develop without interference. Memory suppression prevented external influence and internal misuse. Growth required limitation. Some believe this quarantine is now weakening. Subtle changes are visible. Old knowledge resurfaces through science, spirituality, and personal experience. People question reality, identity, and consciousness at levels unseen for generations. This is often called the Great Awakening. In this view, awakening does not mean learning something new. It means restoring access to sealed memory files, slowly and carefully. Restoration does not happen all at once. Sudden memory return would overwhelm the system. Instead, awareness increases step by step. Responsibility is tested before access expands. Compassion becomes as important as intelligence. Balance becomes more valuable than power. This gradual restoration prevents repetition of earlier failures. The erased memory of earlier races was not meant to stay hidden forever. It was delayed. Humanity was given time to mature without carrying the weight of ancient collapse. As awareness grows, fragments reconnect. The past does not return as history, but as understanding. Patterns become visible. Choices become clearer. The same experiments appear again, but this time with the chance to choose differently. Your DNA is more than a blueprint for your body. It is a living library holding the codes of all previous human races. Every Polarian, Hyperborean, and Lemurian left a mark within your genetic structure. Until recently, many of these codes remained dormant, waiting for the right conditions to reactivate. Cosmic energies are now aligning, rebooting these ancient programs. This is a period of genetic awakening, where old abilities, awareness, and consciousness are gradually returning. Your body and mind are being prepared to carry the energy of past races in a safe and balanced way. The first step in this activation is to acknowledge the Polarian within. The Polarians were beings of pure thought, capable of manifesting reality with their minds. Their power was in creation itself, turning dreams into forms. This protocol teaches you to reconnect with that energy. The mission is to move from a dreamer into a focused creator. Your thoughts are tools, not distractions. Practices such as meditation, visualization, and conscious thinking help you shape reality without losing yourself. By using intention clearly and consistently, you begin to build with thought rather than letting thought scatter your energy. Polarian activation strengthens your ability to create consciously and purposefully. Next comes the Hyperborean energy. The Hyperboreans were beings of light, healers and frequency keepers who maintained balance in their world. Their gift was purification. In this protocol, the goal is to clear your vessel, body, mind, and spirit from blockages that prevent the flow of light. Simple tools help with this process. A clean diet nourishes the body, emotional release frees trapped energy, and time spent in nature reconnects you with natural rhythms. The Hyperborean aspect allows you to become a clear channel for light and energy. By aligning with this frequency, your body becomes more receptive, your awareness expands, and your natural healing abilities awaken. Hyperborean activation creates clarity, stability, and balance in your energy system. The third part is Lemurian activation. The Lemurians were the first fully physical humans, yet they maintained extraordinary abilities. They had a powerful third eye and could control elements through consciousness. The Lemurian protocol focuses on psychic and shamanic skills, helping you reawaken intuition and the ability to perceive subtle energies. Silence is essential. By listening to your heart and trusting your inner guidance, you reconnect with vibration and energy that lie beyond ordinary perception. This practice helps you speak the language of vibration, reading energy, sensing patterns, and connecting with life in ways not limited to the physical senses. Lemurian energy is about aligning mind, heart, and spirit to act with insight and intuition. All three protocols work together. Polarian activation teaches creation, Hyperborean activation teaches purification, and Lemurian activation teaches perception and intuition. When combined, they form a holistic system that reconnects you with your full genetic potential. The process is gradual, with each layer building on the previous. Starting with thought, moving to the vessel, and finishing with subtle perception ensures that activation is safe and sustainable. Each step strengthens your body, mind, and consciousness in ways that support growth without overwhelming your system. These activations are not metaphors. Ancient records suggest that previous races used similar methods to maintain their abilities. The Polarians focused on pure manifestation, the Hyperboreans on energy balance and light, and the Lemurians on conscious interaction with the material and spiritual world. The energy of these races was encoded in the human genome, waiting for alignment with cosmic cycles. The current period is one of reactivation, where human DNA resonates with the conditions necessary to bring these abilities forward. This process also highlights responsibility. The energy of past races is powerful and precise. Misuse can create imbalance, repeating mistakes from earlier cycles. Polarian energy must be guided with clear intention, Hyperborean energy must be purified and controlled, and Lemurian energy must be applied with insight and respect. Practicing consistently, with awareness and care, ensures that the activation is constructive rather than disruptive. As your DNA reawakens, small shifts will be noticeable. Thought patterns become clearer, emotional energy stabilizes, and intuition sharpens. Over time, the activation expands, connecting your mind, body, and subtle energy systems. The Polarian, Hyperborean, and Lemurian codes within you begin to function together, unlocking abilities and awareness that were dormant for millennia. This period is not about sudden miracles but gradual alignment, a step-by-step return of energies that form the foundation of human potential. By following the three-part protocol, you connect with the essence of the original races. Your body becomes a vessel for ancient energy, your mind a tool for creation, and your spirit a bridge to perception beyond the ordinary. Through meditation, purification, and intuitive practice, you integrate these energies safely, allowing your full potential to emerge. The activation of your DNA as a living library is a process of remembering who humans once were and who they are becoming again. If what you have heard resonates with you, there is a reason. You may carry a memory echo from the ancient races. You are a star seed, an old soul, and a living connection to the generations that came before. Your presence here is not random. You exist as a genetic bridge, carrying the codes of Polarians, Hyperboreans, and Lemurians within you. Feeling out of place, disconnected, or different is not a weakness. It is a sign that you remember. Your soul carries wisdom that cannot be explained by ordinary history. Your mission is clear. Transformation begins within. By growing, healing, and aligning yourself, you help transform the world. Every choice, every act of awareness, is part of restoring what was lost. You are living proof of hidden history. You carry fragments of ancient knowledge in your thoughts, feelings, and energy. The more you honor your own growth, the more the collective consciousness shifts. Community is key. The comment section is a muster point, a place to declare your presence and connect with others who carry this memory. State, blueprint activated, and share your resonance. Here, you can find members of other lost tribes, those who share fragments of the same ancient codes. Together, the work becomes stronger. Together, the memory can begin to flow again. The great work begins now. There is no waiting, no delay. Each step you take, each choice to remember and act, moves the energy forward. The past lives within you, ready to integrate, ready to assist, ready to awaken. Your mission is your life. Your presence is a signal. The time has come to activate, to remember, and to live as the bridge between what was lost and what is becoming.